Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So before I begin this intro for this video, I just want to say thank you so much for 200 subscribers. We hit 200 subscribers last night. I just want to say thank you so much for 200 subscribers. I know this number is like very small and it's not really like a milestone of any sort, but I still want to celebrate it like it is, as if it's like 1,000 subscribers. Back to the video. So as you can tell by the title, today we'll be talking about friends to lovers book recommendations. So this was the second highest requested trope in my Instagram when I did the poll, but I've posted a fake dating book recommendations weeks ago, and that one was the highest one, and then friends to lovers got the highest, the second highest votes out of all of them. Friends to lovers doesn't really need an explanation. It's just that the plot revolves around two characters who start out being friends, and then eventually through the story they would develop feelings for each other. And now, to be honest, I don't really gravitate a lot towards friends to lovers books. It's not my trope. It's not like my top trope. I am an enemies to lovers girl through and through, so this is so it's like the opposite of the trope that I would usually gravitate towards. But I have read some good friends to lovers books, so I thought I would just like share them with you guys. Let's get into it. So the first book I will be talking to you guys about is Next to You by Hannah Bonham Young. Now this story follows Matt and Lane. They were mutual friends for a while, and then they reunited at a party where Lane was very drunk and she didn't remember Matt. But he remembers her. He's liked her for a long time. At the party, Lane gets drunk. She ends up impulsively buying a school bus. She later decides that she wants to keep it and renovate it so she can live in the bus and like kind of travel around. She ends up asking Matt to help her renovate it because Matt is a mechanic. They're working on the bus together, so there's the trope forced proximity. Then they hook up, and then the story kind of goes on from there, and then they slowly start to develop feelings for each other. He already has feelings for her. He falls first, and then she falls for him throughout the story, and you will see her struggle with her feelings for Matt because she has commitment issues. She's that sort of character where she's scared of committing to someone because of her own issues. You would see him sort of try to help her out of it, kind of help her through her problems so they can be together. It's a very cute story. I really enjoyed this book. I would definitely want to recommend this book. I feel like it's a very cute, wholesome read. Then the next book is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. So this book revolves around Poppy and Alex. Now Poppy and Alex, they met in college and they became best friends. They make an effort for every summer to at least go on vacation for, I think it was either like a week together or a month. So they would go on vacation together every single summer before they go back and like spend it with their families. Then later on you would see that something happened and they drifted apart and they stopped talking. And then Poppy reaches out to Alex years later and then asks him to go on one more vacation together. And then you would see a lot of time jumps. One thing I will say with this book, even though I really like the plot, I think the plot is very interesting, it's just the way that it was written and the time jumps, I was getting confused a lot. But I've talked to a lot of other people who are currently reading this book, or if they've read this book already, and they're saying that they really enjoy it. So I would still recommend it because I do like the plot. I really like the story and I did enjoy the book. But yeah, I would definitely recommend this one. I think the story is really cute if you're not bothered with the whole time jumps, constant time jumps, because I'm gonna be honest, it did confuse me at some points. I was like kind of getting confused at what time period we're in right now, like while I'm reading it. Then the next book is The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. So the story is about Bree and Nathan. So Bree got into an accident and that ended up hurting her ballet career, and then she is now like a teacher. And Nathan is a famous football player, American football. They've been like friends. They're best friends, and they've been friends for a really long time. Bree really likes Nathan, so she's always had feelings for him, but like he's off limits. So Bree gets drunk and she blurts to the media how she has feelings for Nathan, and then Nathan's publicist tells them that they need to fake date for a while to kind of do some damage control for what happened. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I've talked about this book before. I don't remember a lot from this book. I don't remember really like loving it. I genuinely don't remember a thing from this book. I was like going through it again just so I can write down some notes and talk about it and everything, but I just generally don't remember a thing from this book. But if I feel like if you're into the sort of like sports romance, friends to lovers thing, this is also fake dating as well, so I also recommended this in the previous video, so if you can go ahead and give it a read. Now I feel like I think I said this in the previous video as well, just because I didn't enjoy this book, unless I completely hated it, I wouldn't recommend it. But if I, let's say, don't remember much from the book, or I wasn't crazy about it, I would still recommend it, because, or at least talk about it, because just because I didn't like it doesn't mean other people won't. And that's like the point of the book recommendations, like telling you about these books because you may have not heard of it before or anything, and just like kind of telling you about these books, exposing you to new books so you can try them out yourselves, and then whether you like it or not, that's completely up to you. But just because I didn't like it doesn't make any sense for me to just like not talk about it. There are some books I would never talk about again, that completely traumatized me, and I wouldn't talk about them again. I wouldn't recommend them even. But yeah, like if I wasn't crazy about the book, that doesn't mean I'm not gonna talk about it. Now, this is another book by Sarah Adams, and it's called Practice Makes Perfect. I read this book at the beginning of the year. Actually, it's part of my January wrap-up. So yeah, so this book is a sort of opposites attract, friends to lovers. So he's like the sort of town bad boy, and she's like the good girl. So the story revolves around Annie and Will. Annie is like, she has no experience in relationships at all. She's not good at dating. Not just that she's not good, she's just never dated before. She's never been in a relationship, and she doesn't know how to go about dating. And Will is her brother's fiance's bodyguard. Did you get that? So he's Annie's sister-in-law's bodyguard, I guess, let's say that. So she's very much looking for a relationship, and he's the complete opposite. He does not want a relationship. He doesn't want the commitment because he knows, like, he's been into her from the beginning. He's always been like attracted to her, but he didn't want to get close to her because he knew that once his job was done, like once his assignment was done, he had to leave. He wasn't going to stick around. So he was kind of sort of avoiding that. He didn't want the commitment. But then she ends up asking him to help her like learn how to go about dating and what to like learn how to be in a relationship and everything. So they sort of fake date. They start to develop real feelings for each other. There's actually, and I really enjoyed this book. I honestly enjoyed this book a lot more than Chi Chi because I really like this book. There was a scene in this book which reminded me a lot of Gilmore Girls. When, I don't know if, for those who watch Gilmore Girls, you'd know what I'm talking about. There was a scene where, this might be a spoiler, but when Luke and Lorelai start dating, the town sort of holds a town meeting, and they're like kind of talking about how they shouldn't date, and how this is gonna affect the town and whatever, and like all that stuff. And there's a scene exactly like that in the book where the town's like, no, we don't want Annie to date Will, he's no good. This is gonna like, how is this gonna affect the town? We don't need to see this happening around town and whatever. And it just like reminded me of that scene in Gilmore Girls. So it's that sort of vibe. So yeah, this is like a book that I would definitely recommend. These are some friends to lovers books that I would recommend to you guys. So I have more tropes coming up. I really want to get into sports romance. Sports romance is gonna be a long video. It's going to be a long video because there hasn't been one sports romance book that I've read that I wouldn't recommend, because I love all of them. I don't think I've ever rated one that's lower than a 4. They're all 4s and 5s for me because I love that trope. It's my favorite trope. And if they're enemies to lovers, done. Bye. I know that's gonna be a long video, and I already have my list here, so I'm gonna start collecting them and seeing what's gonna happen. It's gonna take me a long time. So that is it for today's video. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, and keep your eye out for the next video. Bye.